Word has gotten out. Conroe, Texas is one of the fastest growing cities in the entire nation, and there's a lot of good reasons for that. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you the top 5 reasons that people are moving to Conroe. Stay tuned. What is up, friends of the interweb? It's Jeff with Jeff West Properties, your host for the Conroe Living Channel, where we identify and celebrate everything that makes Conroe one of the best places in the nation to live. Now, this is a YouTube channel, so you know what I'm going to ask you to do. Click like and subscribe and click the YouTube buttons. You know all the little YouTube buttons. I would appreciate the support as I build this new channel, and if you would, click that notifications bell. You'll be notified every time new information comes out. I'll be doing weekly content. Now, yes, this is a real estate channel. I am a realtor, but I wanted this channel to be more than just real estate. I wanted it to be about everything that makes Conroe the city that it is. So in this channel, you're gonna get the best restaurants, the best places for live music, the best parks, the best dog groomers. Actually, I probably won't do that one, but you get the gist. Follow this channel, and if you're considering moving here, you'll feel like a local the moment you step foot in town. And if you are a local, maybe you'll learn something about the city.
I'm a student. I like learning.
Now, I've helped lots of people relocate to the city, and I've talked to a lot more people who are transplants, and according to them, these are the reasons they moved here. Reason number 1, cost of living. Now, some of my fellow Texans may disagree with this statement because it seems like the cost of everything is going up right now. But if you're from a place like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Miami, any place along the coast or in the Midwest like Chicago and Minnesota, Texas is a downright bargain. And Conroe is one of the best bargains in the state of Texas. I have another video on the channel that talks about the cost of living that you may want to check out. But for the most part, Conroe is a very affordable place, especially for what you get. I lived in Los Angeles, and the average size house in Los Angeles is 1,300 square feet.
That's small.
But in Conroe, it's 2,300 square feet.
Impressive.
So you get a lot more for your money. Like we love to say around here, everything's bigger in Texas. Except for the prices, which is what I just said. You know, we should talk to the state legislature, maybe get the slogan changed to like almost everything's bigger in Texas. I know a senator, I'll get that taken care of. When you factor everything in, available jobs or people's ability to work for home, the type of housing you can get, all the things there are to do in Conroe and the greater Houston area, people around the nation are starting to realize that for quality of life and the ability to stretch a dollar, Conroe just makes sense for their families. Speaking of families, the number 2 reason people are moving into Conroe is for these schools. Good school districts are a huge priority for families who want to put their kids in the best position to succeed. An education resource group ranked Conroe ISD as the 2nd highest rated district out of 200 large districts in the state based on academic and financial performance. The high school graduation rate is 97.3%. Conroe is also one of the fastest growing school districts in the state, growing by almost 1,500 students a year. And you may wonder why that matters. Well, as well as the great schools that we have right now, we're inevitably going to be building more schools into the future as the population continues to grow. I mean, we're one of the fastest growing cities in America, so it just makes sense. Now, as a testament, and on a personal note, I grew up in the Conroe School District. I went from elementary school all the way to graduating Conroe High School, and look at how I turned out. I got my own YouTube channel.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Conroe is a city that's always had a lot of civic pride, and that definitely extends to our school districts. So kids through all grades have a ton of school pride. A vast majority of them are involved in extracurricular activities, and we've got some really good ones to choose from. Conroe ISD has award-winning arts programs, music programs, sports programs, languages, accelerated learning, so many things that kids can get involved in that help shape who they become as people. I was involved in a lot of the extracurricular activities growing up. One of my favorite things about going to Conroe High School was this burrito they had in the cafeteria. I don't know what they did to it. It was nothing special, but it was life-changing. Like, I have literally had dreams about it as an adult. You may wonder what that has to do with anything. Nothing really, but it's my video and we're talking about school, so I'm reminiscing. I digress. Anyway, since families put such a high priority on overachieving schools with amazing burritos, it is one of the big reasons that people are moving here. Reason number 3 people are moving to Conroe. Let's see, how do I put this? Let's just say that Conroe's favorite color is red.
A bit more conservative, perhaps.
Now look, I tend to steer clear of politics when it comes to my business, but look, there's no denying that Conroe is one of the most conservative cities in one of the most conservative counties in one of the most conservative states in the nation. Now, does that mean if you're someone who leans a little more to the left politically that you wouldn't like it here? No, absolutely not. I've got friends on both sides of the aisle and we all love each other, we all get along, we all play nice.
We're all neighbors here.
But we're talking about why people move here, and it is a big reason. You can't deny that conservatism is woven into the fabric of Conroe. Former President Donald Trump, when he had his last Houston rally, chose the Conroe Fairgrounds to hold it. So if politics are important to you and you lean to the right, you're going to absolutely love it here. If you lean to the left, I'm not going to say you won't love it here. I just wanted to give you the heads up.
You've been warned, people.
Moving on. The number 4 reason people are moving to Conroe, lake life. Lake Conroe is a 21,000 acre man-made lake that has become Houston's backyard playground over the last couple of decades. There's tons of fishing, boating, other water sports. You've got the Margaritaville Resort. You can rent boats, jet skis, one of those bar boats that 8 people sit around the bar and pedal. Actually, they don't pedal. I think they just sit around and drink. You can even rent a pirate ship. There's a mini pirate ship that you can actually rent. Word of warning, when you do rent the pirate ship, the owners ask that you do not try to commandeer other people's boats on the lake. It's generally frowned upon and they don't want you to take it that seriously. Arr, arr. But it is available. You also have the Southern Empress on the lake, which is one of those Mississippi River boats that does dinner cruises and events. I believe you can rent it for private events as well. It's pretty cool. They also have one of those hoverboards where like you hover above the water. No, it's not a hoverboard. It's like a waterboard. No, it is not a waterboard. That would be terrible for tourism. It's, well, I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure by now I have a video that kind of shows you what I'm talking about. Now, here's another reason that you'll want to subscribe to the channel, because I guarantee you by next summer, I'm going to get up on one of those things. So you won't want to miss that, because it very well could be my last video.
This will go horribly wrong, you know.
Now, aside from all the things to do on the lake, there's also living on the lake. There are miles of shoreline with lakefront property, everything from modest homes to mega mansions. Some of the biggest houses in the whole Houston area are found on Lake Conroe. You've got a lot of celebrities that live on the lake, like former Rockets coach Rudy Tomjanovich, Roger Clemens, George Foreman. I even heard, I don't know this for sure, but somebody told me at one point Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston owned a house together on the lake. I don't think they do anymore, because that would be kind of awkward. I lived in Walden on Lake Conroe for several years, and it was an amazing experience. I love to be able to wake up and have the lake in my backyard. And you can buy these properties for a fraction of what you would have to pay on either of the coasts, so it's a pretty affordable way to live the good life. The number 5 reason people are moving to Conroe is because they can. There are so many places around the nation and so many people moving from those places because they're overcrowded. They've run out of room to build, and so the cities are becoming more dense residential where you have to live in apartments and condos, townhomes, mid-rises. Don't get me wrong, Montgomery County has mid-rises and townhomes as well. It's just, it's a choice to live there, not a necessity. There are a lot of options as to how you can live. We have single-family homes, townhomes, apartments. We have ranch property, farm property. You have a lot of choices. Now, there's another factor to why Conroe is growing. It's not just places outside of our state that have experienced population issues. Even in our own backyard, we've got some of the same things happening. The Woodlands, which is our neighbor to the south in Montgomery County, has got some of those same problems. It's been considered one of the best communities to live in the nation for many, many years now. So the problem is that word has gotten out about that, and people have been moving there and continuing to move there. So they've had this population explosion, and now they're out of room to grow. So people who want to live in Montgomery County but are not finding opportunities in the Woodlands, they've chosen to move just a little bit north and experience some of the same things that you have there, being on the doorstep of the Woodlands while getting in while there's still opportunity, and for a little bit cheaper as well. And the Woodlands really is a great place with tons of things to do. You've got the Woodlands Mall that's right there, one of the biggest malls in the Houston area. You've got the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, which is the big outdoor amphitheater that a lot of the big concerts come to. I saw Tom Petty on his last concert before he passed away there. You've got the Woodlands Waterway, which is kind of like San Antonio's Riverwalk. It's got bars and restaurants and clubs right there. You've got the Children's Museum in the Woodlands. As well as having all the Conroe attractions, you can have the Woodlands on your doorstep, just moments away from all of those things, and still find a place to live that's relatively affordable. Conroe has almost doubled in size in the last decade, sitting just under 100,000 people. Conroe is a huge city. It's got 72 square miles, and a lot of it's been undeveloped, but it's starting to become developed recently, especially in the east side of town. A lot of the east side will never be developed because the San Jacinto River is right there, and it makes a lot of the land unusable because of floodplain. Montgomery County has definitely had their issues with floods, just like many other places in the Houston area. I grew up in a neighborhood called River Plantation on the southeast part of town. At the time, it was probably the nicest part of Conroe, but the problem was
the river runs through it,
and periodically flooding would happen. Part of the subdivision, particularly where I grew up, got it really, really bad. Half of the houses on my street growing up aren't there anymore because insurance decided they couldn't pay out anymore and they just bulldozed them. In fact, during Hurricane Harvey in 2017, I actually saw my street on the news, which is something I did not enjoy. And I knew it was my street. I recognized it because of one of the houses. The only thing you could see on it was the roof. That's how bad it got. So there's a whole lot of the city that's never going to be developed, but there are still lots of other opportunities for development, again, especially in the east side. Even though the city's really spread out, it's got great infrastructure allowing for easy access to places. On the south side of Conroe, you have Highway 242, which goes all the way to Highway 59 on the northeast Metroplex area. It's just a couple of miles north of the Grand Parkway, which is a loop around the entire Metroplex of Houston. It's got one more section to complete, and it will be the largest loop in the entire world. So we've got all this infrastructure that's already been built out, making it really easy to continue to grow. In Conroe, we have Loop 336, or as we call it as Conroenians, the loop. It's a big loop around Conroe that's been around for decades, but it hasn't had a lot of development on it, especially on the east side. Now you're getting new communities going in, and they're going up pretty quickly, again, because the infrastructure was already in place. When I was growing up, the east side, there were a lot of jokes made about it. It wasn't the most desirable place in the city to live. But let me tell you something, that is changing. There are some amazing communities on the east side, and there's a lot more planned for the future. So it's not a joke anymore. East side is the place to be. You know, things change. Now, on the topic of things changing, there's going to be several of my fellow Conroenians, Conroesian. I don't know what we call ourselves. I've never actually referred to myself as that. If you know, if you're from Conroe and you know what we're called, let me know in the comments. Anyway, there are going to be some of my fellow neighbors in Conroe that are going to hate this video, especially this part about it growing, because if they had their way, nobody else would move here. In fact, they would probably prefer that some people leave.
Go! Get!
A lot of people may prefer that it stay the same, but we can't stand in the way of progress. If people like a place, it's going to grow. It's kind of a universal law. If something is healthy, it grows. It's true of children, it's true of flowers, plants, it's true of my waistline because I have a healthy appetite.
Boo this man!
But seriously, Conroe has a healthy foundation, and so growth is just going to be a byproduct of having a great place that people want to be. And personally, I love seeing people fall in love with the city that I love. That's a lot of love.
Yes, yes it is.
Plus, let's be honest, I'm a realtor, so of course I want people to move here. I want everybody to move here. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dentist.
The more the merrier.
Joke's on you, I don't have a dentist.
We want you here. And there you have it, the top 5 reasons people are moving to Conroe. Now, when I do videos, I always like to throw in a bonus, so I'm gonna give you a 6th reason people are moving here. I know I could have just called it the top 6 reasons that people are moving to Conroe, but I like getting free stuff. How about you? The 6th reason that people are moving to Conroe is because of the neighborhoods. Now, Conroe has some amazing established neighborhoods, some new neighborhoods, and some that are up and coming, and they're going to be amazing when they're finished. If you'd like to learn more about these communities, you can check out this video on my top 5 neighborhoods in the city of Conroe. Thanks for watching.